or the Coastal Angel, and these are available at a Christmas in July sale price of just under $55 or 3 easy payments of $18.20. The colors are so vivid, Jim.
Okay, here's the story.
Okay.
You know, I do hundreds of angels and hundreds of Santas. Hundreds and hundreds. Did I say hundreds?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. And each one of them is, is different and original and still yet within my styling and so forth. So that creates a little bit of a challenge as far as, creating something that's going to be, fresh and tells a story and that sort of thing. Okay, so they cover a lot of different themes, but I'll tell you the truth, one of my favorite themes, because of the fact that it allows me to have such a grand use of color, is the coastal nautical theme.
Okay.
And I don't think any piece I've ever done or any grouping that I've ever done displays that better than these two pieces. I love these pieces, and I love them when I finished these pieces. I said to myself, doggone, these really hit the mark,
Well, let's go through each one.
Okay.
So we're looking at the Santa. So you have a lighthouse in Santa's arms, and for many people, that lighthouse, that beacon, to always find your way home. So my father-in-law, he was a pastor, and the lighthouse was
that's a symbol
Yes.
of that the light, upon our path and that sort of thing. So yeah, and I always think of that sort of thing when I include a lighthouse, because that is one of the meanings for any one of us who are believers, and it's the spiritual side of things, and I like that.
Yes.
I like to include that sort of thing, But one of my signature things that I've done for a long time is to include a story within the story and use a piece like this as a backdrop. In this case, it's like a little coastal village with once again the lighthouse, and I've got the sea and everything. So it's a scene and it's a project all by itself. So there it is, and then it's framed and showcased by something that I don't do a lot of because you can overdo it. But I think in this case it came off just right, and that is the use of this very mild, iridescent glitter.
Well, I see you also kind of picked that up with the shells. They have a little pearlescence to them.
They have a little pearlescence.
And did you see Santa's shell buckle? Jim.
Hey.
The attention to the details.
I'm crafty like that.
But this is what makes this such a unique piece to have in your home, because there's so much to discover.
And not only that, but if it is decorated all the way around, as you can see here.
Well, I have to give everyone a quick update. Only 5 dozen are available in the Santa choice. Let's not forget about our angel, because I want to see some of the detail there. Because the garland in her arms, it's a strand of coral. See, she has a seashell on her headband. Beautifully done in such a unique interpretation.
Yeah, I like this piece too. Once again, angels are, as a subject, my favorite subjects for a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons is that they can be so many different things. They can be, kind of fluffy and funny and whimsical and that sort of thing, or they can be, protective. They can be gentle. They can be, very, very introspective and all that kind of stuff. Or they can be very powerful, and they can be, even warlike. And I've used those different kind of iterations all the time in different settings. This one, she's just such an exciting and colorful. That's one thing. Oftentimes you'll see the angels as they're white or they're mild blue or they're something like this. I don't think I'm that way.
Okay.
I think of strength and excitement and vibrance and
that radiates from
and
them.
That's why I love to put a lot of these heavy, beautiful jewel tone colors into my angels.
That you don't normally see.
Yeah, that you don't normally see.
And can we talk about the scene within
and
the scene here?
And the scene fits perfectly in that, what I was just discussing. And of course, once again, it's a scene that is like a project all by itself in high relief. You've got the school of fish, and it's obviously the underground with the corals and all that kind of stuff, And I think it's just a beautiful scene, using the angel as the backdrop, because it just strikes the right kind of tone. I designed both of these pieces and created both of these pieces at the same time to be a match set, and I'm hoping that the people will pick up on that, and maybe if they so desire, can get both of them together, because they deserve to be together.
I would recommend using Easy Pay. It's $18.20 a month on your Q card or credit card. And we're very limited in what we have available. So only 2 dozen remaining in the Santa option, and then 75 total in the angel option.
But on the angel now, as you can see right there, that glittery, it's a copper color, you know, and it matches so well with the you know, with the underwater picture and the appointments that are on her garland there, you know.
But and Jim, I'm thinking we're in summer right now, and the beach is very prominent for so many of us. She's someone I would display right now.
Oh, if you listen, if you love the ocean, and who doesn't, or if you live in a coastal area or a lake setting or that sort of thing, or Nebraska, or
but you want to bring a little bit of that beach to you.
You know, these pieces really are lovely pieces, and once again they're decorated all the way around. You know, you got something that to look at, and you know, we've displayed a lot of these kind of pieces with a mirrored back, so you can actually see the back of the pieces, because you can see the star motif that's on the back of the angel, you know, forms this matrix, and I think that's it just turned out just right, you know.
And so one of the elements that I'm seeing on the Santa, we didn't talk about how quilting has inspired.
Yeah, quilting, that's the other element that I use so much. And you know, quilts oftentimes represent certain things, you know. I mean, I've got cataloged over 5,000 quilt patterns that represent, it might be, you know, grandmother's flower basket, or the flock of geese, or the bear claws, or you know, a whole lot of different things like that. Martha's star, and you know, Washington's favorite, and all those kind of things. And so I try to pick, you know, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes I try to pick patterns that are relevant to the thing that I'm doing. And in this case, this spiral pattern is so reminiscent of like the Nautilus, you know, and something that is always, you know, the shells and the spirals that form the shells and everything. And I thought that would be just the perfect
complement to this
pattern. And it is a tone on tone, which we have, my wife and I, we have a collection of quilts. We're a quilt. Actually, we wrote a book about quilts.
So
when people ask me, do you know something about quilts? I can say, I wrote the book. So,
but you know, we know and we see your love of quilts in your sculptures.
Well, it goes back to my grandmother and my mother. They were both my grandmother was truly a master quilter, and she, my parents too, created such a nice environment for a young, you know, budding artist like myself. Because they were so sensitive and attuned to that, and just being with my grandmother, you know, the things that go into a great quilt are the same things that go into a great piece of artwork.
Yes.
Balance, rhythm, you know, composition, and all that stuff. You know, and I learned an awful lot, you know, being exposed to her.
I'm sorry, Jim. I don't mean to interrupt you. Is the Santa sold out? Oh no, Santa is all gone.
Well, I'm happy and sad. So.
Well, we do still have 4 dozen of the angel option if you'd like to pick up the angel, H219381. And so 3 easy payments of $18.20 will bring your coastal angel home to you. All right, now if you missed out on this Santa, don't worry. We have a very big Santa to talk about.
We got more to come. Boy, do we.
There it is, actually.